All right, everybody, we can start it with Stan. Will Guillory, you can go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Can you just detail for us just the focus? Obviously, I'm assuming it was defense again, but just what have you been talking to the guys today about? With this extra practice time you've been given.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec, Will. But it's really hard to sit here and talk about basketball games, let alone practice when we just lost one of your colleagues who's one of the best people that I've ever been around. And I got a chance to work with him every Friday night last fall. Sekou and I worked together. I had known him back from when he was a beat writer in Atlanta, but really got to know him last year. And just a great person, cared about other people, great sense of humor, positive, upbeat guy, extremely intelligent. And some of you undoubtedly knew him even better than I did. I had that short few months where I got to see him a lot. And I found out about an hour before practice. And the tough thing for me was that last night, Mark Spears has been keeping me updated. And last night, the news, right about the time we canceled the game, Mark had texted me and the news was positive. It sounded like things were getting better. And so when I got, after our staff meeting today before practice, when I got the text from Mark and then from Andrew also that Sekou had passed, I mean, it just hit hard. I think for all of us, this COVID thing has been painful, to say the least. But when you lose somebody that and that you admire and respect, and who's young, I mean, he might not be young by some of your guys' definitions, but young by my standards. I mean, it's just really, really hard. I mean, and this thing is so scary, and it's brought so much grief to so many people. And today is one of those days. There's a lot of people grieving a great man in Atlanta today with Sekou. So I know I took a few more minutes, and I even forget your question, but that's what's been on my mind since 4:00 this afternoon.
No, it's on all our minds right now, and I wonder if you could just share, one of your better memories with Sekou. I know you talked about him, when the news first came out about him being hospitalized. Just one of your better memories of.
Well, on Friday nights last year, when I was on NBA TV with him, he always did his MVP ladder. That was his thing. Every week, the MVP ladder, and it would be adjusted by those week's games. And he would share the stuff he got, the messages from fans on like social media. And it was just hilarious. I mean, people would go after him all the time. And he had such a great way with his fans on social media going back, because I think he's somebody that took his job seriously, but never took himself that seriously. I mean, he understands that what we're doing is in the entertainment business, and he had fun with it, and he had fun with his fans. And I think any of us who had the opportunity to know him or to work with him, I mean, it was a joy going in there every Friday night and knowing you were going to see Sekou. And then the second half of the year, when I wasn't going in there, I really missed him. I mean, it was, those were good times. I mean, we lost a great one today. Your profession lost a great one today. And it's just tragic. And, we've made this thing into a political football, this thing. It's not. It's a disease. It's a virus. The virus don't give a damn about your political persuasion. Like this thing is it just killed another great person. We've killed over 400,000 people. Like, come on, wear a mask, social distance, try to take care of each other the best we can. This is scary and it's tragic. And oh man, yeah, this is tough.
Stan, how difficult has it been to compartmentalize, like just bad things happening in the world while you're also doing a difficult, demanding, challenging job?
No, it's not. It's not hard. Like, you go out to practice today. I had just found out about Sekou. It was hard, like getting started, but once practice started, I mean, it commands your attention. It's sort of an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 25, whatever we were out there. It's a little bit of a respite from the tragedy. And but then as soon as practice is over, you're right back to thinking of it. And it's just, again, I think what hit me more than anything, I mean, it'd be tragic in any event, but it just sounded optimistic yesterday. I mean, everything sounded good. Mark's been really nice, keeping me updated on almost a daily basis, and it just sounded good. So I was just shocked today when I heard.
Hey Stan, it's Andrew. Considering the new, I guess, extra precautions it seems like the league is taking, it seems like that's kind of one of the reasons why last night's game was postponed out of, again, this overabundance of caution. Do you like how I guess the league is kind of trying to take every possible precaution they can to protect players and teams right now?
Look, they're doing a lot of things, and they're trying to do a lot of things to be able to, number one, keep playing and keep making money. And then number two, within that, stay as safe as we can. The bottom line is, you can be pretty safe and follow all those things. It's just tough. I mean, I guarantee you Sekou Smith was taking precautions. He's not one to just say the hell with it. I guarantee you he was taking precautions. I mean, it could be a short interaction with somebody. It just, there's no way to stay totally safe. And so last night, yeah, they canceled out of, out of precaution, and that's probably a good thing. I mean, it just, it's hard to say. We get wrapped up in it and everything, and I'm consumed by it, but there are things more important than the NBA and more important than basketball out there. And if Sekou Smith doesn't drive that point home to all of us, then I don't know what will. And so, yeah, I appreciate the NBA and the steps they're taking, but we're doing everything we can, except we're still taking the risk by traveling and playing. Let's face it. I mean, we are. And we've all decided to take that risk. It's not like Adam Silver, the NBA, is forcing us to. We've all decided. Players, coaches, GMs, league office, we've all decided to take on certain risk for economic reasons. And so we've all got to own that.
Coach, along those lines, hi, by the way, it's Jen. Along those lines, as the season goes on and things like Sekou's passing and the game being postponed, what type of mental, emotional toll is that taking on your players?
Our guys have been good. I mean, they've been good. I mean, again, it's that, being able to compartmentalize. And we talked about it, and I'm sure every other team in the league did too, not just us. Talked about it going into the season, that this was the kind of stuff that was going to happen. You knew games were going to get canceled. You knew things like this were going to happen. You didn't expect the death of somebody like Sekou Smith, but the game cancellations and the testings, I mean, you expected all those things, and it's disruptive. The NBA has a routine, has a rhythm to it, and this year it doesn't. But that's for everybody in the league. So, we're all on equal ground in terms of rhythms being disrupted and everything else. And You've just got to be mentally tough and overcome it and go out and do your job. It's a different season in so many ways.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Appreciate your time. All right, everybody, we can go ahead and start with BI. Will Guillory, you can go ahead.
What's up, BI, as well from The Athletic. For NBA players, we people always talk about how you guys are so used to routines and doing kind of the same thing you're used to on a daily basis. Going through this season where you have a game canceled basically an hour and a half before it starts. What's it been like just dealing with the uncertainty from day to day?
Well, we knew kind of this was going to go on. We didn't know how it was going to go on, but we knew to be ready for anything to happen at any time. That someone could come in and the test could be positive, and we all go home and all get shut down. So, as professionals, we just got to be ready for anything. We got to stay prepared, stay ready when we come on the basketball floor. When we do get a chance to get in the gym, knowing exactly what to work on, and staying prepared mentally. Making sure that we're watching film, making sure that we know exactly what we're doing when we come in practicing and into games.
Yeah, it's Andrew from ESPN. Can you kind of walk us through how you guys found out yesterday? Were you on the floor warming up? Were you about to go out there? How did it kind of go through yesterday for you guys?
Personally, for me, I had just walked in. And Coach got us together and just broke the news and told everybody what was going on, and told us that he didn't know the schedule for tomorrow, but just to stay prepared.
Jen, go ahead. Christian, you can go ahead.
Hey, Brandon, Christian Clark here with Noel.com. We just talked to Stan a little bit. He was, pretty close to Sekou Smith. I'm just wondering, for you, generally speaking, has it been difficult to, I guess, like keep separate, everything that's going on in the world and like just everything that's happening, and then, your basketball too? Like, is it hard to compartmentalize those things?
Not for me, because basketball is really my whole life. Me just coming into this gym, I just try to figure out a way to visualize myself in the gym and be here if I'm not here. Just that's me just being on my computer or whatever else. The other things, just family, talking to family on the phone or making sure they're straight. But everything is pretty normal for me because all I'm doing is just going to work and going to the gym.
BI, when you talk about visualizing yourself in the gym, can you walk me through that process? What is that like? How do you do that?
Well, first is I'm looking at the opponent we're playing and just watching different ways that they guard off ball, on the ball, their offense. And I just try to put myself in it just by watching film and just picking out every little detail and just trying to see how I can make my job a little bit easier and writing notes down. And eventually when we get out to the court, just try to put myself in it.
How many notes do you usually take per game? Certain number of pages or anything?
I'm not sure. I have a little small notebook, maybe 2 or 3 pages. Just on different guys, different things that I might see in the first, second, third, fourth quarter. On different guys that's really important to the team, guys that can affect the team in a way where they can go on a momentum, just different things.
Hey, BI, it's Andrew again. Mentioned before in interviews that, when you guys were in LA dealing with trade rumors, it got to some of your teammates. Today, Lonzo's name comes up again as a possible rumor. Do you say anything to him in moments like this? Do you try and reach out to him? What's kind of that like?
I try to encourage everybody to just live in the present moment. Whatever we got going right now, and if we're playing basketball and whatever we're doing with the Pelicans right now, I try to encourage them to be the best in the present moment. We know that the business of basketball is the business of basketball. We can't control anything outside of it, but we can control ourselves and how we come in here every day and how we practice, we play, and how we carry ourselves. So I just encourage him to do everything that he does well on the basketball floor, and then everything else handles itself.
Brandon, just Christian Clark, one more for you. Last season, you guys had a pretty tough stretch there, a little bit earlier in the season than this year. But is there anything, I mean, you guys went on to win, I think, like 22 of the next 36 games after the losing streak. Is there anything, you can take from like how you guys picked yourselves out of that and kind of apply it to right now what you're going through?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much had the same team besides Drew, besides Etwan, besides a few guys. And, we have the talent in the room. Now it's just about putting it together. Like I said before, we have a new coach. We have two new starters, and we're trying to figure out the best ways that we can score the basketball and the best ways to defend. And I think we played 15 or 16 games. I think as we continue to experience everything we experience, we're going to get better with the professionals that we have, and we're going to continue to get better.
All right. Thank you, B.I. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandon.
I have to say happy birthday to Auntie Gail.
All right, everybody, we can go ahead and get started with Steven. Christian Clark, you can go ahead.
Hey, Steven, Christian Clark here. Where were you, and I guess like where were you at in the process of getting ready for that game when you found out it wasn't going to happen yesterday?
Where was I? I was at the stadium, the old Smoothie King. Smoothie King Arena. Just pulled up, mate, and they gave me the news, and so yeah, it is what it is, mate. This is a new reality for the NBA, and it is fine. A lot of people working very hard to keep us safe, so thank you.
Steven, it's Jen. This new reality, we all knew that there would be something unexpected to deal with this season, but what is the mental toll like having that uncertainty surrounding you day in and day out?
It's not that difficult. It's just if you're going to play or not, you know. There's plenty of other jobs out there that's a lot more stressful than what we got going on, whether you're going to play a game or not, you know. So I wouldn't put too much effort towards that.
Hey, Steven, it's Andrew from ESPN. I guess kind of turning to practice today. Because of the extra precautions, you guys didn't have a chance. You didn't have to miss a practice. They still allowed you guys to get on the floor. What was kind of practice like today? What did you guys kind of focus on?
Yeah, practice was good, mate. It was good that we were still able to get together and all that. But yeah, just focused on just offense and defense. Just try and put it in a nutshell, mate. You know, try and just hit on the targets. And obviously, it's a bit of frustration going because of the results. But with these sorts of things, you just have to go through your process, whatever that looks like, right? There's no real pretty way, right? Not everyone has a pretty road, so that's what we're on, mate. And the boys' spirits, we're all good, mate. You know what I mean? We're up for the challenge and whatnot, and we just gotta be patient with it, mate. You know.
I know you guys, that game against the Spurs yesterday didn't go on, but did you guys like look back at the home opener against San Antonio? I mean, you guys scored 98 points in that game, but still won. I mean, did you guys look back at, I guess, like the defense you played in that game, or was there anything, at that point in this season that you guys can kind of draw on to get things going in the defensive end, I guess?
Sorry, bro. So you basically just asked if we look back at that game to try and figure out stuff to help us with this game. So we're talking like yesterday's game. So
yeah, was that something you guys did at all?
Okay, yeah. Definitely, bro. I mean, you do that anyway, right? I mean, it was one of those games too where our defense was really good. Rotations were great. We followed the game plan really well. Did a good job containing Aldridge and DeRozan. I thought that first game, right? And so we're obviously looking at that and trying to draw things that we could take forward. But it's also like we can't just like play like that. You know what I mean? Because we have to evolve from that. So there'll be, and they evolved as well, right? That was just a good starting point back then. Now it's got to just like, you can't take everything, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because just teams are different, right? They're smart.
All right. Appreciate it, Steven. Thank you for your time.